What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Grow with Breeze. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Volusion. In case you don't know, Volusion is another e-commerce platform sort of similar to Shopify, Squarespace, that sort of thing, where you can either build an online business and sell products on it, or if you have a physical business, you can take that online to expand your customer base even more. In this video, we're going to be going over everything you need to know about Volusion to help you decide if it's the right e-commerce platform for you. For your convenience, we have included our affiliate link to Volusion in the video description. So if at any time you decide you're ready to get started today, definitely check out that link so you can get the latest info on pricing, deals, and promotions. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So the first aspect of Volusion I want to go over is the storefront itself. Now, the storefront of Volusion, typically with their free themes, does look really good, but the issue I have with them is that the free themes are really limited, even compared to Shopify, which Shopify doesn't exactly have a ton of free themes either. Other than that, there are more paid themes, but with Volusion, even the paid themes are rather limited. Now, the plus side to their theme selection is you can actually have a custom theme built for you from a third party, and they actually have an option for that takes you right to it. So that's nice if you have a bigger budget and an exact vision of what you want your store to look like in mind. That's definitely a good option, and they make it really easy and convenient to have that done for you. But if you're just starting out and you don't have a huge budget, or you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you want to design your online store yourself, this can be a little bit of a drawback. So we're at Volusion's storefront center right now, and looking at the themes they have on the left side, they don't have a ton of different themes. You can also see more themes by going to the design tab, hitting themes. And here we go, we have a few more, and you can see these ones are all paid, and you can search too. There are about 45 different themes. Let's see what kind of free ones they have. Yeah, they have 11 free themes, so it's really not a huge selection. So if you're hoping to design a store that has a real specific look, this might not be the platform for you, because unless you want to spend some money, the themes are going to be pretty generic and pretty limited as far as the selection goes. The other thing I'm not a huge fan of with their storefront is how you can actually edit the website. If we go here to the storefront center again, you see I have a theme already selected, and you can't really do a whole lot with it. You can edit the items themselves, but it's hard to change the images. There are a bunch of different spots you have to go to actually change things on here. So you have the product section right here, but you can also go to the design and then product display settings right here. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I feel like it could have been done better as far as making things a little bit simpler. For example, with Squarespace, it's not exactly a free-for-all like Wix, but on Squarespace, you can still add items you want, switch things out, and even though they have more rigid themes too that are pretty recognizable, and you can't really design a website from scratch, you still have a lot more control over what the website looks like versus a platform like Volusion or Shopify. They might have slightly more powerful e-commerce tools. Now, comparing Volusion to Squarespace, that's a little bit debatable, but the bottom line is, with a platform like Volusion, you don't get a ton of control over what your website looks like. Now, one caveat I will add here is this is more if you don't know code. You can actually do some advanced editing with HTML and CSS if you know about that stuff. But if you don't know how to code, then you are at a disadvantage because you're not going to be able to do nearly as much as you would with another platform that allows you to more drag and drop things and change them out individually how you would want to. Designing a website with Volusion might not be the most pleasant experience, but once you get your store set up, things do get a little bit better. For analytics, Volusion has some real cool tools that I really like, and the graphs and stuff like that are really easy to use. As you can see, we're on the dashboard right now, and it has a mock sales graph up here right now, and this is basically what it's going to look like once you have your website up and running and making sales. It's really easy to track. You can just look at it right here. It's really easy to track, easy to read. You can view your orders from the graph itself, and you can see what products are selling the most, which categories are selling the most, if you have a wider variety of items you're selling. And you can see trends in orders, sales, different customer information. That's all really useful in helping your business grow. Another thing I really like about Volusion is their CRM system. This is basically something that allows you to create separate emails for different departments. So let's say you have a fashion brand, for example, and you have a few different items, let's say clothing and jewelry. You could create a separate email address for your clothing department and your jewelry department. So if one of your customers who bought a piece of jewelry has a question about their product, they can go right to the jewelry department through that separate email. And then if somebody has something with clothing, they can go to the corresponding department and get answers a lot quicker. And it helps you as the business owner organize your customers and your communication with them a lot easier. Volusion provides other types of reports as well, such as affiliate stats. If you have affiliate marketing that you do, this makes it really easy to track and see what your affiliates are doing and how the advertising campaigns are performing. Probably one of Volusion's biggest strengths is in inventory management. Looking at their inventory management section, they have all kinds of different tools you can use to manage your inventory better and categorize your products. And even with supply chain things, if you have a more physical business, or even if you have an online business that sells a physical product, they have a warehouse section where you can more easily communicate with warehouses connected to your stores. You can do purchase orders, so when you run out of product, you can easily reorder it. And the order fulfillment system is really good too. When you get online orders, you can easily process them from right here on this page. And of course, here's a feature that every e-commerce platform should have, the abandoned carts section. So if somebody has something in their cart and they don't actually purchase it, then you can send them follow-up emails to remind them and hopefully capture that sale. There's a lot of other stuff in here too. In between orders and inventory and payments and that sort of thing, I almost think that it's a little bit too much. There are certain features, like for example, phone orders, that I personally feel are almost unnecessary. I haven't heard of an online store that actually does orders over the phone. That's a little old-fashioned and doesn't really have a lot to do with anything. I'm not sure quite when this feature would be actually used, but it is interesting all the same. Maybe if you have a business that's doing lots of over-the-phone sales, then I could see it. But for an e-commerce platform, this is going to be more of a rare situational kind of thing. And that's the interesting thing about Volusion. That's both good and bad. The good thing about it is it has a lot of features like this that are really situational and are solutions to problems that most business owners, especially online business owners, aren't going to be encountering. But on the other hand, to the people who don't use them and won't find these features useful, then it gets to be a little bit cluttery, because looking at all these different features, there's so much stuff, and if you're not going to be using one, then it almost just gets in the way. Another cool thing about Volusion's point of sale system is that you can actually use it for physical stores as well. So if you have an in-store location, you can make a nice little point of sale system that's consistent with your brand and easy to use, and even better, integrated into your Volusion account. Another really big strength of Volusion is the marketing section. Volusion has a ton of different resources to help you grow your brand and expand your customer base. So for example, they have the social media center that pretty much every platform out there is going to have, but unlike these other platforms, they have a lot more. So they have reviews, which some platforms do have them, but you also have stuff like Facebook Store, Google, eBay, and Amazon integration that you don't see every day on your average e-commerce platform. Then you have things like the deals, discounts, coupons, sales, all that sort of thing. And they even have stuff like rewards programs that you can easily set up within the platform itself. And it makes it really easy to run things like that. They help build customer loyalty, which of course is going to be expanding your revenue. They have stuff like newsletters, which can be great for marketing campaigns. Gift certificates, of course, that's a big one that everyone should have. SEO is going to be a real important part for growing any kind of e-commerce business, because after all, you're going to want people to be able to find you easily when they're searching for the products you're selling. Now, one part of Volusion I'm really not a fan of is the behind the scenes stuff. So for example, they have two different settings menus that I feel are really unnecessary. The first one is right here in the general settings spot, and that has stuff like the tax info, your company info, which is basically the company info like the address, email, that kind of thing that's going to be displayed on the bottom of the website. If you go to pretty much any website out there, the business in question is going to have their information like that on the bottom. So that's what this is. They have stuff like firewall, general website maintenance, configuration things, all that sort of stuff. But then you might be wondering, where do you actually change the domain? Well, that's in a completely different spot. You have to go to the top right here, go to My Volusion, log in all over again, and that's gonna take you to a whole new spot where you're gonna have more info, more options about your account and everything like that. Here, down on the bottom left corner, this is where you're going to be able to change your domain name. And then there's all kinds of other stuff, but I feel like they could have just put this in one menu and it would have made things a lot easier, because I personally don't like having to go to a bunch of different spots to find the information I need. So this is really inconvenient. And that does follow a sort of common theme that I've been seeing with Volusion. They have lots of great features, but a lot of their information is in weird spots and not the easiest to find. Lots of their functions are a little odd. Like for example, you can get to the products from the design page, but you can also get to it through the inventory page. I wish they would just condense things a little bit and make it more simplified. Even Shopify, which is a decently complex platform, is significantly more intuitive than Volusion. So when it comes to that sort of thing, the ease of use could definitely be improved. So in conclusion, my takeaway for this platform, I think Volusion is a really powerful e-commerce tool with lots of great features, specifically in inventory management, marketing, and analytics. There are lots of features you can find on Volusion that, while other platforms might have the same things, are a lot more powerful on this platform than they are on others. For example, the inventory management is really great when it comes to managing your inventory and categorizing your products and that sort of thing. Especially if you have a more physical or brick and mortar business, it really helps you keep track of your products, where things are at, and make sure you're not going to be running out of stock when your items start to get more popular. On the other hand, your ability to design a website that you want the way you want it is a little limited with this platform, and there are lots of things like the menu items that are a little bit confusing and not quite as intuitive as you might want. There are also some features like the phone sale features that for the average user aren't going to be very useful, and overall I feel like a lot about the mechanics of this platform could be simplified, mainly with the settings menu and the behind the scenes stuff. That part was really bugging me. I do wish they condensed it into one menu. It would have been a lot better and a lot easier. But at the end of the day, if you're more experienced in building e-commerce stores, maybe you know a little about code, or you have a bigger budget to have someone create the interface for you, and you're looking for a few more unique features like the ability to manage sales over the phone, or something like inventory management is at the top of your priorities, then Volusion will still be a great platform for you. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. Remember, if you do decide you're ready to get started with Volusion today, we do have our affiliate link to the platform in the video description, where you can get all the latest info on pricing, deals, and promotions. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. And as always, I will see you in the next Grow with Breeze video.